As if we haven't already made enough videos about the newest Montreal Canadiens D-man, Noah Dobson. Now, here's the thing. We have been making quite a few Islanders-related commentaries over the past few days. Not all about Dobson and, oh, he's gone and all this and that and everything. But we have been diving into some Islanders rumors and updates and prospect talk and stuff like that. I think it's a pretty interesting team to follow at this time, considering the fact that they just traded away their supposed top defenseman, and they pretty much replaced him on the roster with a first overall pick in Matthew Schaefer. Pretty good business, if you ask me. But one of the really interesting narratives that has come up about the newest Montreal Canadiens D-man, Noah Dobson, is how bad, apparently, he is. Because it was so interesting to me, just the entire sentiment, the vibes from Islanders fans about Noah Dobson, from his 70-point season in 79 games in 23-24 to his 39-point year in 71 games the most recent season. Things shifted quite heavily for Islanders fans in talking about Noah Dobson. But here's the thing. I wanted to refer over to some commentary that was posted on social media that really starts to, dare I say, stir the pot a little bit more. Take a look at this article. It was published by Mark Dumont on Montreal Hockey Now 2 days ago. 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago, on July 13th, 2025. It is the Montreal Canadiens wrap. A talk on the Bolduc trade, the Dobson trade, and some highlights on Canadiens prospects. If we head over onto this piece and scroll down onto what was discussed on, where was it? Was it Tuesday? No, it wasn't Tuesday. It was Wednesday. Here we go. This is what Dumont writes about here. It's funny how quickly Noah Dobson lost his elite luster, according to certain fan bases. The good news is, the numbers do not lie. Across the board, too, I might add. And linked is a post made on Twitter by Dom Unique that we will dive into. Dumont then goes out there and says, with Dobson and Hudson in the mix, the Montreal Canadiens will certainly enter 25-26 with much more mobility on the back end. But how will the actual D pairing shake out? For the first time in a long time, head coach Marty St. Louis has some options. Now, we're not going to read the projecting Canadiens D pairing, including Dobson article. We'll save that for another day. But let's head over onto this post made by Dom Unique that does go out there and point out just how not bad Noah Dobson is. The problem with the quote-unquote Dobson is bad narrative is that you can't find a single model that does not consider him elite. And you gotta remember, all these models, Andy and Rono, Jay Fresh, what is this one? This one's from moneypuck.com. All of these models incorporate statistics and play from the 24-25 campaign, where Noah Dobson famously had 39 points in 71 games played. He declined the most recent season point production-wise, but these models that everybody is looking at to try and define just how good he is don't really say that he fell off that badly. Let's look at the J-Fresh model over here. So, J-Fresh has Noah Dobson at an 81% even strength offense wins above replacement metric, and an 89% wins above replacement defensive even strength metric. Noah Dobson was elite defensively in the most recent season, according to the J-Fresh model. His power play wins above replacement was at 71. His penalty kill, not applicable. It doesn't seem like he had any penalty killing minutes. Finishing, 72%, penalties, 52%, so he's in the top half of the league there. In terms of goals, chances, and shots, he was in the top 10%, the top 12%, and the top 17% of players in the league. And in terms of primary assists, he also was in the top 22 percentile of players in the National Hockey League. He was in the top 5% of exiting the zone, so that's pretty good, especially as a defenseman. He's pretty mobile, he can get the puck out. That's quite important for somebody who's supposed to be a top guy. In-zone offense, 30%, hits 38%. So there are some weaknesses in Dobson's game, but overall there are so many positives that it comes across in this overall number here. Dobson was ranked 81 percentile, top 81 percentile in offense even strength, and top 89 percentile in even strength defensively. That's the JFresh model. You head over to the moneypuck.com model, and you'll see that Dobson was on the top pairing of all the top expected goals percentage pairings that the Islanders had. Pelech and Dobson, Romanov and Dobson and Mayfield were the top 3 New York Islanders defense pairings in expected goals for 24-25. That's what it says here in the graphic. Expected goals is the rate. Expected goals percentage, Pelech and Dobson were absolutely dominant in terms of expected goals percentage. This is ridiculous, just how dominant Noah Dobson was as a D partner for all of these other Islanders defensemen. The only other pair that was at or above 50% was Cholowski and Mayfield, and that's the only pairing that was at or above 50 that didn't feature Dobson. I think that just goes to show you how the Islanders' defensive system lacked any extreme sufficient play outside of whatever pairing Noah Dobson was on. You then have the other chart here. This is Andy and Rono. They had Noah Dobson as a 94 percentile offensive player and a 72 percentile defensive player, which is interesting because normally you'd think it'd be flipped. Oh, Dobson declined so heavily in offensive numbers this previous year, so why is his offensive rating so much higher than the defensive rating, and why does this disagree so heavily with the JFresh model? Honestly, again, I'm not really smart enough to understand why that is, but Andy and Rono have their own specific type of evaluation here, but at the end of the day, they still say that Dobson is a top half of the league defenseman at defending and a top 6 percentile player in the league at creating offense, based on the metrics of passing, finishing, points, and impact. You also have yourselves this model over here. Noah Dobson was one of the only consistently blue guys on the Islanders' D-core from last season in terms of all these metrics: puck possession, on-ice 5v5 offense, on-ice 5v5 defense. The point is, Noah Dobson wasn't bad last season. And even though Islanders fans have really gone out there and started talking smack about this guy, you will see many that will come to his defense for the right reasons, I feel. Here's a reply from Benoit for Hart. The problem with the Noah Dobson is elite narrative is that you use models to form your opinion. The counter evidence is 5 15-second clips of him making a mistake. At least they have clips. All you have are charts. Oh, you want clips of Dobson doing well? Here's an almost 10-minute video of Noah Dobson's 24-25 highlights. I'm not watching all that. I figured. He'd be the best defenseman on the Leafs, and it isn't particularly close. So, that is a heated exchange, and one that I think folks need to start internalizing a little bit more. The Noah Dobson 24-25 season highlight mix is pretty good, by the way, so I'd recommend you go out there and check that out. But I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Noah Dobson is bad narrative? How do you feel about the numbers? How do you feel about the statistics? How do you feel about the points? How do you feel about the truth on Noah Dobson? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.